Hey guys, and welcome back to another flashlight review. Today I'm going to be looking at the Convoy M21H. This is a relatively new flashlight that Convoy's released, and it comes, well, my one anyway, comes with the XHP70.3 high. I really like this LED because it's so efficient, produces a heap of light, but it also produces some significant throw because it's a de-domed LED. You can't really see it so well in there, sits underneath the lens. And speaking of which, this is the first single TIR lens Convoy flashlight, bit of a mouthful, that I've owned. I don't think there are any others out there. Correct me if I'm wrong. I have seen those quad or triple TIR lens Convoy lights. And interestingly, it has one of these frosted TIR lenses, and you see sometimes, for example, the IF22A, Spiro's M4, those TIR thrower flashlights, even the Acebeam P16, they don't utilize this sort of lens. And I think they're doing it because that XHP70.3 in there is just going to potentially produce a donut hole in the center. So yeah, I'd be interested to see how this light actually, how the beam actually looks without all the diffused area in the center. But as you'll see later in the beam shots, it produces a fantastic, really throwy sort of beam with nice diffuse spill as well. This light has pretty much one of the nicest beams I've seen on any TIR flashlight out there. Something really unique is that it produces a 180-degree beam, so pretty much into your peripherals when you turn this flashlight on. So you notice it quite well in the dark. Also comes with USB-C charging, and also a battery if you pay a few more dollars. So I got mine with the Molicel P42A. Okay, but you probably don't need a battery of that low resistance. You can get away with most other 21700 cell batteries. The light only draws 5 amps. So here is the M21H compared to a few other of my Convoy flashlights. The M21B to the left, got the Convoy S2 Plus and Convoy L21B. So it is kind of similar in size to the M21B, I'd say, but just with a wider head. And yeah, it's pocketable, though. Like with these wider heads, they can get a little bit annoying in the pocket. Okay, but something like this one here, that's impossible. The L21B, and actually I've got both of these with the same LED in them. So here's a close-up of the lens so you can see what it looks like. Diffused TIR lens there. LED sits right in the center underneath. And initially I was quite skeptical of it, but after using it for the beam shots and near trees, foliage, and in sort of darker areas, it does produce just a very aesthetically pleasing beam. And TIR lenses are already like that. And I think the diffused sort of pattern design inside just exaggerates that even more. And another good thing to mention is that there is a glass lens in front, so providing extra protection. Some of these TIR flashlights do not have that. So let me just go through the UI a little bit to show you what's included. So basically, when the flashlight is off, you can click and hold to access moonlight mode. That's 0.2%. If the flashlight is on or if it's off, basically you can double click. That will give you turbo straight away. Okay. What you can do is you can also, when the flashlight is off, click 3 times, and that will allow you to access strobe. There's also a hidden tactical mode in here. So just click the button 4 times, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and it will blink, and every time you hold that button down, it will access tactical mode. Okay, it's kind of like a momentary mode, 1, 2, 3, 4, and that momentary mode is basically 100% mode. Okay, I've actually swapped the light into a mode that allows me to kind of ramp it up and down through different steps. So turn the light on, and then you click and hold, and it just has like 4 steps. Okay, you can actually switch it into smooth ramping mode by clicking this button 6 times. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. From off basically. So now it's on, and there you go. You can just sort of like click and hold to ramp that flashlight on and off. I find the ramping is just too slow though, and I'd rather just have it on the step ramping 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and yeah, it's just a lot quicker, so I don't have to meddle around with everything with all the smooth ramping and wait too long. You can also lock the flashlight, so you click the flash this button 10 times, yes, 10 times, and that will lock it. Again, if you want to unlock it, you're going to have to click the button 10 times as well. So yeah, I wish it was something like, I don't know, 5 or 6 times, something like that. 10 times is a bit much, but yeah, with the Convoy UI that's being used across a few of these lights, it's just really how it is. The light also has low voltage protection and temperature control built in as well. Alright, so let's talk a little bit about performance, and you can see here, switch the light on, it slowly starts to ramp down, but essentially holds between 90 and 100% of output up until the 3-minute mark. At 3 minutes, it starts ramping down sharply to 30% of its total output at the 4-minute mark. Then it basically just holds that 30%, continuing on for another 4 minutes. Activated turbo again at about the 8.5-minute mark, shoots up and gives me about 30 seconds of turbo, and then comes right back down again to the 30% level. Ran a second ceiling bounce test as well on the 40% mode, so you can see here, no issues at all. It holds 100% all the way past 16 minutes, 18 minutes where I ended the test. Here are some tests I ran with my Opal Light Master Pro, and I measured the throw at 355 meters on the 100% mode, and really that is quite impressive for a small flashlight like this. I really didn't think that it would throw 355 meters, especially for such a large LED in there. You know, these normally don't throw very far unless you have a larger reflector. But even if you look at the 40% mode that I tested, 209 meters, super impressive. Color rendering index was between 67 to 69, and the CCT was between 5,400 to 5,800, increasing as you ramp the flashlight up to 100. This light produces a beautiful smooth beam, like I mentioned before, with surprisingly good throw, given that it has a diffused lens as well. And I think that's thanks to the XHP70.3 HI. The heat is also managed quite well. I didn't feel during the test at any time it was getting too hot to hold. It was certainly getting a little warm, but I was able to hold the flashlight comfortably. It was ramping down like it should. Some considerations, you know, these are some things I've already mentioned before. Head is a little bit bulky, okay, but it will fit in your pocket. Would have been nice if Convoy had included some kind of clip on here as well. It does have USB-C charging, but yeah, with the battery, you're going to have to pay for one separately if you want to include one with the flashlight. And of course, you know, the UI, I think there could be some improvements to it. I actually prefer this than using Anduril, because Anduril, especially on some of these, you know, EDC flashlights, nowadays I find it just to be too fiddly, and I prefer something more simple. But, you know, things like locking the flashlight by clicking 10 times, I think that's a bit too much. And then also the smooth ramping mode, it's just too slow. It takes too long to ramp up and down. But if I've got it on the step ramping, absolutely fine, no issues there. Did forget to mention as well, this does have a battery check mode too. So overall, I think this is a surprisingly good EDC general purpose flashlight, and it's just under $30, which is amazing given how much power and efficiency, you know, the construction of it is amazing as well. And yeah, I'm quite a fan of these new Convoy designs, these side switch Convoy designs. The S21E also kind of has this same sort of design with a few, you know, a different button. But yeah, everyone was always saying Convoy doesn't have onboard charging, but I think with their newer models, they are definitely starting to adapt and provide these modern features that these pretty much can be used by anyone, not just flashlight enthusiasts. And the convenience of onboard charging is something I prefer. Of course, yeah, you've got to deal with that gasket on the back. But I've left a link in the description below you can get this light from Simon's website. That's probably the cheapest place you can get it on the official Convoy website. It's a non-affiliate link. So if you have any questions, anything I've missed out, please let me know below in the comments and I'll get back to you. If you found this video helpful, like it because it's going to help me get out to more people. If you want to see more reviews, make sure you subscribe. I've got the Convoy M21H with the XHP70.3 HI, and this is on the lowest mode. Barely can see it, just in the front. Press and hold, second mode, and now we're getting serious. And I loved the beautiful diffused beam here. This is absolutely perfect. This second mode, I can see all the way into that field, even on the ground easily. Trees. Third mode, and yeah, just a gigantic sort of flood beam. Surprised how far it can reach. It tints the trees at the back as well. Okay, and that's the highest mode, fourth mode. Very, very impressive. This is one of the nicest floody kind of beams I've seen on a flashlight, but because it's got the XHP 70.3 HI in there, you've also got significant amounts of throw. So the light is definitely more concentrated in the center, but the diffuser, TIR diffuser, just helps to make that beam look more even. But I mean, for a walking light, even for like a long distance, slightly longer distance thrower slash floody light, don't know what you'd call it, somewhere in the middle, it's a very practical beam. That's what I'm trying to say. And I don't really feel it ramping down at the moment. It might be ramping down very slowly, but I don't quite feel it yet. We'll see it yet anyway. Okay, back to low, 2, 3, and 4. There you go. You can just double press to like reactivate the turbo. Yeah. It's a very pleasing sort of beam. I don't know how else to describe it. Excellent. I was surprised at this one. I tried it out at home and I didn't think it was any special, but when you're out in a larger field like this, the amount of visibility it gives you, and looking at the ground as well, it pretty much casts a beam that's like you can see on the ground, it's just like a 180 degree line. And I'll step forwards to show you what I mean. So you have pretty much all your peripheral vision as well. Convoy M21H with the XHP 70.3 HI. Beautiful beam. Look at that. The visibility is amazing. You really see kind of this 180 degree beam here on the ground. And makes easy work of this oval. Convoy M21H, and I've got it on the lowest mode really here at the moment. Not much, probably up to 5 meters or so. That's it. Second mode, there we go. Now we're talking, and this is decent enough to see right through to the end as well. Third mode, looking a lot better now, and reaching through to the end. There's a lot of flood in this beam. Okay, and that's it. So go right to that highest mode there, as you can see, and tons of flood. It's a very nice looking beam, and I like how it's just so diffused, not like the L21B with the 70.3 HI in it, same LED. It throws a lot further, but the beam on this is just much nicer. TIR beams I find just more aesthetically pleasing to look at. That's with everything off. I can't see anything down the end. And look at that. Convoy M21H with the XHP70.3. This is on the lowest mode. It's 4 modes. Can't really see much. Second mode, and now we're kind of talking. And really, surprisingly, it's a great throw for that lower mode. Third mode. And I'd say you mostly got a whole bunch of spill here, but with quite a stronger diffused, stronger hotspot in the center. Okay, and this is the 4th mode, the highest mode, and absolutely incredible. Just lighting up this block of buildings like almost like it's daytime. Very windy here as well, so you can see today in Melbourne. Don't know why, it's just ridiculously windy. Convoy M21H, the XHP70.3 HI. It's on the highest mode. Sort of scroll through the different settings. 1, 2, 3, 4. Wow. Amazing. Look at that. So, yeah, fantastic illumination. Lots of spill, but decent throw as well. Combination of both spill and throw is really important for me, so you can see what's coming up ahead and still have a beam that's practical enough to tell where you're walking. Convoy M21H with the XHP70.3 HI. That's the lowest mode. Second mode. Third mode. Okay. Highest mode. Great visibility. And this reaches all the way to the end. Difficult to see on camera, but quite easily lighting up these